Why are you so tired? Even when you've done nothing wrong? Hey, good evening. Or maybe it's already late at night where you are. Welcome to the Stillpoint. If you're new here, thank you for finding us. And if you subscribed, you're part of a quiet community now. People who think, who question, who seek. Sometimes I wonder about the lives on the other side of this screen. The cities, the small towns, the different corners of the world where you might be listening. The stories that brought you here. If you ever feel moved, the comments section is there. A quiet place to leave a thought, a moment, a trace of where you are. This is your refuge. For the next hour, the noise stops. The scrolling ends. You don't have to do anything. Just be here. You're safe. Let's begin. You are so tired, aren't you? Not just the tiredness of the body, but a deeper exhaustion. The kind that lives in the bones, in the soul. It is the tiredness of performing, of smiling when you don't feel like smiling, of nodding when you want to scream, of being pleasant, agreeable, appropriate when every cell in your body wants to collapse. You have been so good, so polite, so careful, and it is killing you. Slowly, quietly, like a weight you carry that no one else can see. Tonight, we're going to talk about why you are so tired, why the world feels so heavy, why you cannot seem to rest, even when you lie down, even when you close your eyes. Tonight, we meet the mask. You called it the persona, but we will call it what it truly is. The face you wear to survive. Imagine, if you will, a theater, an ancient theater, the kind the Greeks built, carved into hillsides, stone seats rising in circles, an empty stage waiting in the center. And on that stage, there is a single figure, dressed in robes, standing very still, and on their face a mask, not a small mask, but a large one, covering the entire face, painted, stylized, frozen in a single expression. In ancient Greece, actors wore these masks. They had to. The theaters were massive. Thousands of people sitting far away. They could not see a human face. They could not read subtle emotions. And so, the actors wore masks. Exaggerated expressions. Tragedy. Comedy. Rage. Joy. Each mask told the audience who this person was, what role they were playing. And the word for these masks was persona. It meant, literally, that through which sound passes, because the mask had a mouth, and the actor's voice came through it. The mask was not the person. It was the character, the role, the face shown to the world. This is what you are wearing right now. A mask, a persona, the face you constructed so carefully over years, over decades, to show the world who you are supposed to be. But here is the question that Jung spent his life trying to answer. If you have been wearing a mask for so long, do you even remember what your real face looks like? Let us go back to the beginning, back to when you were very young, before the mask, before the performance, before you learned to hide. You were born without a persona. You were born unfiltered, raw, a pure expression of need, of feeling, of being. When you were hungry, you cried. When you were angry, you screamed. When you were joyful, you laughed. There was no gap between what you felt and what you showed. You were transparent, like water, like glass. What was inside flowed directly to the outside. You did not think about how you appeared. You did not manage your image. You simply were. But then the world began to teach you, not through words, but through reactions. Through the tightening of your mother's face when you cried too long. Through the disappointment in your father's eyes when you were too loud. Through the way your teacher smiled when you sat still and frowned when you fidgeted. You learned very quickly. You learned that some versions of you were rewarded and some versions were punished. Some expressions brought love and some brought silence, withdrawal, rejection. And so you began the great work, the work of crafting a persona, a face that would keep you safe, a character that the world could accept. Perhaps you learned to be the good child, always obedient, always helpful, never complaining, never demanding too much. You smiled when you were praised. You stayed quiet when you were hurt. You became easy, manageable, lovable. Or perhaps you learned to be the strong one, the one who never cries, never shows weakness, never asks for help. You built walls. You toughen up. You learned to endure in silence because showing vulnerability was dangerous. It made people uncomfortable. It made them leave. Or perhaps you learned to be the achiever, the one who excels, who performs, who wins. You learned that your worth was measured in grades, in trophies, in accomplishments. You learned to push, to strive, to never stop, because stopping meant being ordinary, and ordinary meant invisible. Or perhaps you learned to be the peacemaker, the one who smooths things over, who never rocks the boat, who absorbs the tension in the room. You learned to read people, to anticipate their moods, to shape yourself around their needs, because conflict was terrifying, and harmony, even false harmony, felt safer. Or perhaps you learned to be the rebel, the one who rejects, who defies, who stands apart. You learned that if you could not be accepted, you could at least be free. You were your difference, like armor. You refused to conform. But even rebellion is a mask. Even defiance is a role. Whatever mask you chose, and you did choose it, even if you do not remember choosing, it was built for survival. It was not a lie. It was an adaptation, a way to navigate a world that was too big, too unpredictable, too dangerous for a small, vulnerable, unprotected child. The persona saved you. It truly did. It helped you fit in. It helped you be loved, or at least tolerated. It helped you avoid the unbearable pain of total rejection. But here is the cost. Here is what no one tells you. The persona was meant to be temporary. It was meant to be a tool, a costume you put on when needed, and then take off. But somewhere along the way, you forgot. You forgot that it was a mask. You began to believe that the mask was you, that the role was your identity, that the character you played was your true self. And now you cannot take it off, even when you are alone, even when no one is watching. The mask has fused to your skin. The performance has become automatic. You do not know how to stop. And this is why you are so tired. Because maintaining a persona requires constant energy, constant vigilance. You are always monitoring, always adjusting, always performing. Even in your most private moments, you are still on stage. You wake up and immediately you put on the mask. You check your face in the mirror. You arrange your expression. You prepare your lines. And then you step out into the world and you perform. At work, you are the professional, competent, reliable, unflappable, even when you are drowning, even when you want to quit. You maintain the facade, because to show cracks is to show weakness, and weakness is unacceptable. With friends, you are the fun one, the listener, the supporter. You laugh at their jokes. You celebrate their wins. You minimize your own struggles, because to be too heavy is to be a burden, and no one wants to carry someone else's weight. With family, you are the dutiful one, the responsible one, the one who shows up, who helps, who never causes problems. You swallow your resentments. You perform your role, because family has expectations, and to deviate is to disappoint. And even when you are alone, you do not rest, because the mask has taught you to judge yourself, to monitor yourself, to be your own harshest audience. You replay conversations. You critique your performance. You wonder if you said the right thing, if you appeared the right way, if you were enough. This is the tyranny of the persona. It does not stop when the curtain falls. It does not rest when the audience leaves. It is always watching, judging, demanding perfection. And the real you, the one beneath, the one who was born transparent and free, that self has been pushed down. So far down, you can barely feel it anymore. It speaks sometimes in whispers, in dreams, in sudden moments of inexplicable sadness. But mostly, it is silent, buried, forgotten. Jung said, "The persona is a complicated system of relations between the individual consciousness and society, a kind of mask designed on the one hand to make a definite impression upon others, and on the other to conceal the true nature of the individual." To conceal the true nature. Not because the true nature is bad, but because the true nature is vulnerable, is messy, is inconvenient, is too much for the world to handle. And so you hide it. You hide your sadness, your rage, your neediness, your strangeness, your desires, your fears. All of it goes behind the mask. And what the world sees is the polished version, the acceptable version, the version that fits. But the cost is your life, your aliveness, your authenticity, because you cannot be truly seen when you are wearing a mask. You cannot be truly known when you are performing. You cannot be truly loved when the person loving you is loving the character, not the soul. And this is the loneliness, the deep, aching loneliness that so many people feel, even when surrounded by others, even when liked, admired, successful, because no one knows you. Not really. They know the persona. They know the mask. But the real you is invisible, untouched, unknown. And you begin to wonder in your darkest moments if there even is a real you. If perhaps the mask is all there is. If you have become so identified with the role that the actor has disappeared, that there is no one beneath the costume, just emptiness, a hollow shell. This is the crisis, the moment when the persona that has served you for so long begins to feel like a prison, when the mask that protected you begins to suffocate, when the performance that earned you love begins to feel like a lie. And you realize that you cannot keep doing this. You cannot keep pretending. You cannot keep smiling when you are dying inside. You cannot keep being who everyone else needs you to be while losing who you actually are. This is where the journey begins, not with answers, but with a question. A simple, terrifying, liberating question. Who am I beneath the mask? Who am I when I am not performing? Who am I when no one is watching? Tonight, we are not going to take off the mask. Not yet. That comes later. That takes time. That requires tremendous courage. But tonight, we are going to acknowledge that it is there, that you have been wearing it, that it has been necessary, and that it has also been costly. We're going to sit with the exhaustion of being someone else, the exhaustion of maintaining the facade, the exhaustion of never resting into your true self. And we are going to begin the slow work of remembering the child who did not yet have a mask, the one who cried when they were sad, who laughed when they were happy, who needed without shame, who existed without apology. That child is still there, beneath the layers, beneath the performance, beneath the mask, waiting, patient, hoping that one day you will turn around, you will remember, you will come home. The persona is not the enemy. It is a survival mechanism, a necessary adaptation, but it was never meant to be permanent. It was never meant to replace the real you. It was meant to protect you until you were strong enough to be vulnerable, until you were safe enough to be real. And perhaps now you are ready to begin loosening the straps, ready to peek beneath the mask, ready to risk being seen, not as the character you have played, but as the person you have always been. This is the work, not of becoming someone new, but of uncovering who you have always been, beneath the expectations, beneath the conditioning, beneath the mask. Rest now. Rest in this knowing. You do not have to perform tonight. You do not have to be anyone. You can simply be here with me in the darkness, where no one is watching, where the mask can finally rest. You are safe. You are held. And for the next hour, you have permission to stop performing, to stop pretending, to stop being anything other than tired, other than human, other than yourself. Let the mask slip, just a little, just enough to breathe, just enough to remember what it feels like to be real. We will go deeper, but first rest. Rest in the acknowledgement. Rest in the truth. Rest in the exhaustion you have carried for so long. The theater is empty now. The audience has left. And you can finally take off the costume, wipe away the paint, and sit in the quiet as you are, just as you are. Welcome to the Stillpoint, the place where the mask no longer matters, where performance ends, where you can finally rest. You are walking now, not in the world you left behind, but in a place older, deeper, a place that exists only in the space between waking and sleep. It is twilight here, always twilight. The sky neither day nor night. A bruised purple fading into gold. The light is thick, heavy, like honey. It moves slowly, coating everything in amber. You are standing at the edge of an ancient city. Not ruins, but a city still living, still breathing, though it feels like a memory, like something from a dream you once had and forgot. The streets are paved with worn stone, smooth, polished by centuries of footsteps. You can feel the coolness beneath your bare feet, each stone slightly uneven, slightly tilted, the weight of time pressing down. There are buildings on either side, tall, grand, made of white marble that has aged into cream, into ivory. Columns rise up, Corinthian capitals carved with leaves, with faces, with symbols you do not recognize, but somehow know. This is the city of masks, the place where all personas are born, where they are crafted, where they are stored. This is the workshop of the self you show to the world. As you walk, you begin to notice the people. They are here, all around you, but they do not move like living beings. They move like actors, like dancers, each one performing, each one locked into a role. A man passes you, dressed in robes. His face is a mask, smooth, featureless, painted with a calm smile. He nods as he walks, his hands folded, his gait measured, perfect. He is the dignified one, the respected elder, and he has been performing this role for so long he no longer remembers how to stop. A woman glides by. Her mask is painted with beauty, with grace. Jewels adorn her hair. Her movements are fluid, rehearsed. She is the desirable one, the one who exists to be looked at, to be admired. And beneath the mask, you sense an exhaustion, a longing to be ugly, to be unseen, to rest. A child runs past, but even the child wears a mask, small, delicate, painted with innocence, with sweetness. The good child, the one who never causes trouble, who never asks for too much. And you wonder when they will realize that they too are performing, that they too have forgotten their true face. You walk deeper into the city. The streets narrow. The buildings press closer. The light grows dimmer, and you begin to see the workshops, the places where the masks are made. Through an open doorway, you see a room filled with shelves, and on the shelves, masks, hundreds of them, thousands, each one different, each one designed for a specific purpose, for a specific audience. There are masks for parents, for employers, for lovers, for strangers. Masks of competence, masks of humility, masks of strength, masks of weakness. Every possible version of a human being cataloged, ready to be worn. An old craftsman sits at a workbench, his hands gnarled, stained with paint. He is carving a new mask. Slowly, carefully, his tools scraping against the wood, shaping the features, the eyes, the mouth, the expression that will be frozen forever. You watch him work, and you realize this is what we do. We are all craftsmen. We are all carving our own masks, adjusting them, perfecting them, trying to create the one that will finally be accepted, that will finally be loved. But no mask is ever quite right. There is always something off, something that does not fit. And so we keep carving, keep adjusting, keep trying, until we forget that we ever had a face beneath. You move on, deeper still. The city begins to change. The buildings become older, more weathered. Cracks appear in the stone. Vines creep up the walls. And the people become fewer, more distant, like ghosts. You come to a plaza, a wide open space. At the center, a fountain, but it is not flowing. The water has stopped. The basin is full, but still, like glass, like a mirror. You approach the fountain. You look down into the water, and you see your own reflection. But it is not your face. It is a mask. The mask you wear. The one you have been wearing for so long you forgot it was there. You reach up. Slowly, your fingers touch your face, and you feel it. The hardness, the smoothness, the painted surface. It is not skin. It is plaster. It is wood. It is the persona. And beneath it, you sense something else. Something softer, warmer, more vulnerable. Your true face. Hidden, waiting, but you cannot reach it. Not yet. The mask is too tight, too secure. It has fused to the flesh. You stare into the water, and the reflection begins to change. The mask begins to crack. Small fissures spreading like veins, like roots, and through the cracks, light. A soft, golden light coming from within. This is the truth. Beneath the mask, you are not empty. You are not hollow. You are alive. You are real. You have always been real. The mask was only ever a covering, a protection, but it was never you. The water ripples, though there is no wind. The reflection shifts. And for a moment, just a moment, you see it. Your true face. Not perfect. Not polished. But yours. Soft. Vulnerable. Beautiful in its imperfection. And then it is gone. The water stills again. The mask returns. But you have seen it. You know it is there. And that knowing changes everything. You leave the plaza. You walk toward the edge of the city. And you find a gate. Tall. Made of iron. Rusted. Locked. Beyond it, you see a forest. Dark. Dense. Untamed. This is the boundary. The edge of the persona. The gate that separates the known from the unknown. The civilized from the wild. The mask from the face. You place your hand on the gate. The metal is cold, rough. It does not move. It is locked. And you understand that this journey does not end here. That there is more. Beyond the city. Beyond the masks. But to reach it, you must first acknowledge what you have been carrying. You turn around. You look back at the city, at the streets, at the people still performing, still trapped in their roles. And you feel a strange mixture of sadness and relief. Sadness for what has been lost. Relief that you are beginning to see. A figure approaches from the shadows. It is not like the others. It does not wear a mask. Or perhaps it wears a different kind. One made of shadow, of absence. You cannot see its face, but you feel it watching you. This is the guardian, the one who stands at the threshold, the one who asks the question that must be answered before you can pass, before you can leave the city of masks behind. And the question is simple, but it is not easy. The guardian speaks. Its voice like wind, like water, like the rustling of leaves. Who are you when no one is watching? You open your mouth to answer, but no words come because you do not know. You have worn the mask for so long. You have performed for so long. You do not know who you are without an audience, without a role, without the persona. The guardian waits, patient, eternal, and you realize that this is the work, not to answer immediately, but to live with the question, to carry it, to let it simmer, to let it break you open. You sit down right there in front of the gate on the cold stone, and you let yourself not know. You let yourself be uncertain. You let yourself rest in the discomfort of the question. And as you sit, the city behind you begins to fade. The sounds grow distant. The light dims. and you are left in the twilight, between worlds, between selves, between the mask and the face. This is the threshold, the place where transformation begins, not with answers, but with questions, not with knowing, but with the courage to not know, to sit in the uncertainty, to admit that you have been someone else for so long that you must now learn who you truly are. The forest beyond the gate whispers. It is calling, but you are not ready. Not yet. First, you must grieve. You must grieve the years spent performing, the energy spent maintaining, the love that was given to the mask, not to you. And so you grieve, here, in the twilight, at the edge of the city, and the tears, if they come, are not weakness. They are recognition. They are the beginning of letting go. The guardian remains silent, a witness, not judging, just holding space for your sorrow, for your confusion, for your slow, tentative awakening. And as the twilight deepens, you feel something shift. Inside, a loosening, a softening. The mask is still there, but it is no longer so tight. There is space now. Space to breathe. Space to wonder. Space to be someone other than who you have been. You do not take off the mask. Not yet. But you know that you will. One day, when you are ready, when you have gathered the courage, when you have mourned enough, when you have rested enough. For now, you simply sit in the space between, in the twilight, at the gate, and you let yourself be exactly where you are, not ahead, not behind, but here, in the liminal space, where all transformation begins. The city fades further, the forest waits, and you rest, in the not knowing, in the becoming, in the slow, gentle unraveling of who you thought you had to be. This is enough. For now, this is the work. To sit, to witness, to allow, to grieve, to begin the long journey home to yourself. You have seen it now. The mask, the persona, the face you wear to survive. And in seeing it, something has already begun to change. Awareness is the first step. Not fixing, not removing, just seeing, just acknowledging. I have been wearing a mask. I have been performing, and it has cost me something. But here is what we must understand. The mask is not the enemy. It never was. It was a gift, a protection, a way to navigate a world that was too harsh, too demanding for your tender, undefended heart. The child who built the mask was wise. They were not betraying themselves. They were saving themselves. They looked around at the world and they understood. To be fully seen was dangerous. To be fully known was risky. And so they crafted a shield, a disguise, a way to be safe. And it worked. The mask kept you alive. It helped you be loved, or at least not rejected. It helped you fit in, belong, survive. And for that, you do not need to feel shame. You need to feel gratitude. Thank the mask. Thank it for all the years it protected you, for all the times it helped you pass unnoticed, for all the moments it stood between you and unbearable pain. It served you well. It truly did. But now you are older, stronger, more capable, and the mask that once protected you has become a prison. What was once a shield has become a cage, and you are ready to begin loosening the straps. Not all at once, not violently, not by tearing it off and throwing it away, but gently, slowly, with compassion, with patience, with the understanding that this will take time, that this will be uncomfortable, that this will require courage. The work is not to become someone new. The work is to remember who you were before the mask, before the performance, before you learned to hide. Close your eyes, or let them soften, and go back to the very beginning, to the moment before the world taught you to be careful, to be small, to be acceptable. You were a baby, new, unformed, pure need, pure feeling, pure presence. You cried when you were uncomfortable. You laughed when you were delighted. You reached out when you wanted connection. You turned away when you needed space. You did not think about how you appeared. You did not manage your image. You did not worry about being too much or not enough. You simply were. And that was perfect. That was whole. That self still exists. Beneath the layers, beneath the conditioning, beneath the mask. It has been waiting, patient, faithful, hoping that one day you would remember. You would turn around. You would come home. And now you are beginning to, not by doing, but by undoing, not by adding, but by subtracting, not by becoming more, but by becoming less, less defended, less controlled, less performed. This is the paradox. To find yourself, you must lose yourself. To become whole, you must let go of the self you constructed. To be real, you must risk being rejected. And that risk is terrifying, because the mask was built precisely to avoid rejection, to avoid abandonment, to avoid the unbearable pain of being unwanted. And now you are being asked to walk directly into that fear. But here is the truth, the deepest truth. You have already been rejected. The moment you put on the mask, you rejected yourself. You decided that who you truly are is not acceptable, not lovable, not enough. And you have been living with that rejection ever since. So the question is not, will you be rejected if you take off the mask? The question is, can you stop rejecting yourself? Can you offer to your own heart the acceptance you have been seeking from others? This is the integration, not integrating the mask into society, but integrating your true self back into your own life, bringing home the parts you abandoned, welcoming back the pieces you exiled, saying yes to all of it, the messy, the inconvenient, the too much, the not enough. It begins with small moments, moments when you catch yourself performing, when you notice the mask slipping into place, and instead of tightening it, you pause, you breathe, you ask, what would happen if I did not do that? What would happen if I let the real feeling show? Maybe you are at work and someone asks how you are, and the mask wants to say, I'm fine, I'm great, everything's good. But beneath, you are tired, you are overwhelmed, you are struggling. And so you take a risk, a small risk, and you say, honestly, I'm pretty tired today. And you wait. You wait to see if the world will end. And it does not. The world does not end. The person does not reject you. They might even soften. They might even say, me too. And in that moment, you realize the mask was protecting you from a danger that no longer exists, or perhaps never existed in the first place. Or maybe you are with a friend and they are talking, and the mask wants you to be supportive, to listen, to nod, to agree. But beneath, you feel something else, annoyance, disagreement, a need to be heard. And so you take a risk and you say, actually, I see it differently. And you brace for conflict, for rejection, for the friendship to crack. And sometimes it does crack. Sometimes people cannot handle the real you. Sometimes the relationship was built on the mask. And when the mask starts to slip, the relationship cannot hold. And that is painful. That is loss. But it is also clarity. It is also freedom. Because a relationship built on a mask is not a relationship. It is a performance. And you are tired of performing. You want to be known, truly known. And that means letting go of the people who only love the character, who only want the version of you that is easy, convenient, unthreatening. This is the cost, and it is real. You will lose some people. You will lose some opportunities. You will lose the comfort of being liked by everyone, but you will gain something far more valuable. You will gain yourself. And slowly, as you practice being real, the mask will loosen. It will no longer feel so tight, so permanent, so necessary. You will begin to feel the air on your actual skin, the light on your actual face, and it will be strange, vulnerable, terrifying, but also alive, so alive. The light is dimming now, the twilight deepening. The city behind you has faded into memory. The gate is still there, but it no longer feels so heavy, so locked. You are beginning to understand that the key was never outside. It was always in your hand. You sit in the quiet, in the dark, and you feel the mask resting on your lap. You have not thrown it away. You may need it again. There are still places where it is wise to protect yourself, where it is necessary to wear a face that is not entirely yours. But now you know it is a mask. You know it is not you. And that knowing changes everything. You are no longer identified with the persona. You are no longer lost in the role. You can put it on, and you can take it off. And beneath, you know who you are. Rest now. Rest in this knowing. You do not need to do anything with this. You do not need to change anything tonight. You do not need to confront anyone, or announce anything, or make any grand declarations. You just need to rest, to let this understanding settle, to let it seep into your bones, your cells, your breath. You have been seen, not by the world, but by yourself, and that is enough. The forest beyond the gate whispers still, but it is not urgent. It is not demanding. It is simply there, waiting for when you are ready, for when you have rested, for when you have gathered the strength to step through. But tonight, you do not need to step through. Tonight, you just need to know that the gate exists, that there is a way forward, that you are not trapped in the city of masks forever, that there is another place, a wilder place, a truer place, where you can be exactly who you are. And for now, that is enough. The knowing is enough. The seeing is enough. The small, brave act of acknowledging that you have been wearing a mask is enough. You are tired, so tired, and you have earned this rest. You have carried so much. You have performed so well. You have survived so bravely. And now you can stop. just for tonight, just for this hour. You can let it all go. The mask is off, or at least loosened, and your face, your real face, can finally breathe, can finally feel, can finally rest. Let yourself sink into the darkness, into the silence, into the not knowing, into the becoming. You do not need to be anyone right now. You do not need to do anything. You are simply here, simply breathing, simply being. And that is sacred. That is whole. That is enough. The city is gone. The gate is fading. And all that remains is you. The real you. The one who has been waiting so patiently beneath the mask. Welcome home. Welcome home. Rest now. Rest in the arms of your own acceptance. Rest in the knowing that you are loved. Not for what you do, not for who you pretend to be, but for who you are, exactly as you are. Let go. Let the darkness hold you. Let the silence carry you. Let yourself drift into sleep, into dreams, into the deep, quiet place where nothing is required and everything is forgiven. You are safe. You are whole. You are enough. Always enough. Rest now. Rest. You are here. You are safe. You are held. There is nothing you need to do. Nothing you need to become. Nothing you need to prove. You can rest now. Truly rest. The mask has been seen. The work has been done. And now there is only this quiet, this darkness, this deep, deep rest. Let yourself sink deeper, deeper still, into the silence, into the stillness, into the soft, gentle, dark. You are safe. You are safe. You are safe. The world is far away now. So far. It cannot reach you here. Its demands, its expectations, its noise, they have all faded. Like echoes. Like whispers. Like dreams you once had and have now forgotten. Here, there is only you, and the darkness, and the breath. Slow, steady, rising, falling, like waves, like tides, like the rhythm of the earth itself. You do not need to perform. You do not need to smile. You do not need to be anything other than this. This breathing, this resting, this being. Let the mask dissolve. Let it fall away. Like mist, like smoke, like something that was never truly solid. It served you, and now it is gone. And you are still here, whole, complete, enough You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. Feel the ground beneath you. Solid. Steady. Holding you. You cannot fall. You are supported. You are safe. The earth has you. The darkness has you. The stillness has you. There is nowhere you need to be. Nowhere you need to go. You are exactly where you belong. Here. In this moment. In this breath. In this deep, restful now. Let your body grow heavy. So heavy. Like stone. Like water. Like something ancient. Something that has always been here. And will always remain. Your arms are heavy. Your legs are heavy. Your head, your chest, your belly, all heavy. Sinking into the softness, into the support, into the earth. You are held. You are held. You are held. And as you sink, feel the breath. So slow now, so gentle. Each inhale like a wave coming in. Each exhale like a wave going out. Rising, falling, endless, effortless, natural. You do not need to control it. You do not need to think about it. The breath breathes you. The body knows. It has always known. And you can simply let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. The darkness is not empty. It is full. Full of peace. Full of safety. Full of the deepest, most profound rest. And you are dissolving into it. Like salt in water. Like sugar in tea. Becoming one. Becoming indistinguishable. You are the darkness. The darkness is you. There is no separation. No boundary. No edge. Just this. This vast. This quiet. This infinite, gentle space. You are safe here. You are safe here. You are safe here. We are going to count now, very slowly, from 10 to 1. And with each number, you will sink a little deeper, a little softer, a little more into sleep, into dreams, into the place where nothing is required and everything is forgiven. 10. You are here, at the edge, at the threshold, between waking and sleeping, and it is safe, so safe, to let yourself drift. The mask is gone, the performance is over, and all that remains is you, the real you, resting at last. 9. Sinking now, sinking deeper, your body so heavy, your mind so quiet, the thoughts like clouds, passing, drifting, dissolving. You do not need to hold on to anything. You can let it all float away. Let it go. Let it drift into the distance, into the dark. 8. Deeper still. The breath so slow, so gentle, like a lullaby, like a song sung by the earth, sung by the night, sung just for you. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. Not for what you do, not for who you pretend to be, but for who you are, exactly as you are. 7. The world is gone now, completely gone. There is only this darkness, this warmth, this soft, enveloping peace. You are safe. You are held. You are home. You have always been home. You just forgot. But now you remember, and you can rest. 6. Halfway now, halfway between here and there, between waking and dreaming. And it is beautiful, so beautiful. This in-between place, this liminal space, where you are neither and both. Let yourself float like a leaf on water, carried, supported, with no effort, no strain, just drifting, just being carried by something larger, something softer, something safe. 5. So deep now, so quiet. The body barely feels like a body, more like a hum, a vibration, a warmth, dissolving, expanding, becoming part of everything. You are the breath. You are the dark. You are the stillness. You are the point where everything stops. The still point, where the world ceases and peace begins. 4. Almost there. Almost gone. Into the deep. Into the soft. Into the place where sleep lives, where dreams are born, where you can finally rest. The mask is a memory, the persona a story, and you are free, free to be, free to rest, free to dissolve into this endless, gentle night. 3. Let go now. Let go of everything. Every worry. Every fear. Every thought. Every single thing. Let it all fall away. Into the dark. Into the silence. Into the vast, forgiving void. You are safe. You are safe. You are safe. You are held. You are loved. You are exactly where you need to be. 2. So close now. The edge of sleep. The border of dreams. And you are ready. Ready to cross. Ready to let go. Ready to sink completely. The breath so soft, the body so still, the mind so quiet, and you are dissolving like mist, like starlight, like something that was always meant to return to the sky. 1. You are here. You are safe. You are home. And now there is only this, only breath, only dark, only peace. You are the still point. You are the quiet. You are the place where the world stops and rest begins. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. Sleep safely. Sleep in the arms of the darkness, in the embrace of the earth, in the lap of the universe. You are enough. You are whole. You are loved. Rest, rest, rest. The mask is gone. The performance is over. And you are finally free. Free to rest. Free to dream. Free to be nothing and everything at once. You are safe. You are held. You are dissolving into sleep. And it is beautiful. So beautiful. This letting go. This surrender. This deep, deep peace. Sleep, sleep, sleep. You are the breath. You are the dark. You are the still point. And now you are gone into the night, into the dream, into the place where you have always belonged. Safe, held, loved, complete. Rest now, rest. The world fades. The words fade. And all that remains is this. Silence. Peace. Sleep. You are here. You are safe. You are. The journey is complete. You've traveled far tonight. Through shadows, through light, through depths most never see. Your mind has done its work. You can rest now. This is the still point. Your anchor in the sea of thought. A place you can always return to whenever the world becomes too loud. Thank you for listening. Thank you for trusting this space. For trusting yourself. Sleep well. Good night.